Hi guys, welcome back to part 4 of the series. And this time around I'm going to take one question for simultaneous equation. And as you know that you are expected to solve for x and y simultaneously in some of the equations in paper 1 in your paper. And this is very vital when it comes to the paper because you know that you are going to face it. And this is definitely mathematics, and I hope that you definitely enjoy the video. So, if this will suffice in a way, I feel like without digressing, we will be able to solve our equations within 15 minutes because I just want to ensure that the solutions are actually being provided within a short period of time. So the first equation that I would take will definitely be the 1.2 here. I know that this is actually 1.2 as well. So I just took them because they are actually different. So I just want to solve them with you. Okay. So let me try to use this area as my board this time around so that we can actually solve our x and y while we are referring back to our equations. So the thing is that most of the time when you are dealing with simultaneous equation, you need to make sure that you have two equations. So you do have the two x minus y, which is equals to 2. So the thing is that when you are working with both equations, you have to ensure that you have a value or maybe a variable or x or y exists that you can be able to substitute into another equation. So let's say that you have x y which is equals to 4. So you will definitely see that you won't be able to substitute anything within x and also y if you don't know what y equals to. So this implies that you can ensure that you take your negative y to the right hand side. So then you'll be left with 2x, and then you take your positive 2 to the left hand side, and that will be negative 2 equals to y, meaning that this can be your equation number 1. And then with that, it means that you are going to use your x, y equals to 4 as your equation number 2, right? Now we can be able to take this as y or this as y and substitute it within the within the x or the second equation that we do have down there. So meaning that now we can actually proceed and do this as given. So I just want to change colors actually as we proceed. So let's take y into or equation 1 into equation 2. So that will be x into, and then is equals to 4 because this is our equation 2 and our y is equals to 2x minus 2, right? So this means that we can be able to multiply x with 2x and also negative 2. So x times 2x, that will be 2x squared, and then x times negative 2 will give us 2x. And then after that, we know that we have our 4 here, so we can take 4 to the left hand side and the positive will turn into negative 4, which is equals to 0. Okay, so now we can see that we have 2 and then 2 and then 2. That usually stands out. So sometimes, or most of the time, when I'm dealing with something like this, I will say that there is the 2 as as common factor, but you're not supposed to write this down. I just want to show you how you can tackle this, the way I think. You can actually divide it by 2 before doing this, but this is actually the best thing to take 2 out, and then you'll see that if you divide the entire equation by 2, and then this 2 will definitely be cancelled, and then you'll be left with x squared minus x minus 2 equals to 0. And also you can actually divide it from here just to save time, and then you know that this will be cancelled, and then this will be cancelled, and then 2 into 4, and then this will cancel 4, and then we'll be left with a 2, or 4 divided by 2 will definitely be 2. All right, so with that as our equation, we can come with the common factors. Last time I told you that when you are dealing with common factors, you have to come up with you know like two values that when you multiply them, you will be able to get a negative a negative 2, but when you add them, you're going to get a negative 1. So that will definitely be a 2 and a 1. These times this will always be a 2, and then those are the factors. So this is actually our negative, and also if we place negative here, it means that these times this will always be a negative 2, and then when we plus them, we are going to get a negative 1, and then that will definitely go with the rule that we are using about adding them and getting a negative 1. So that will definitely be our factors. So it means that we're going to come here and say x, and then here we'll definitely say minus 2, and then x, the plus of 1 is equals to 0. So these are actually our values that we are going to use to get our y values as well up here, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to erase the board, because you know that, oh, without even erasing the board, we can actually finalize our answers somewhere here, just to say, okay, our x minus 2 will be x, which is equals to 2, because when we take our negative sign outside of this, and then we're gonna get a positive 2, and then x equals to negative 1, right? So we have our x value, or x1 and then x2, right? And then meaning that we need our y1 and y2 as well. So with that, we are going to use this equation here to say y1, let me erase and get some space here. Okay, so we have a 2 and then negative 1. So meaning that now we can say y1 is equals to 2 is to 2, and then minus 2, this one here, and then this will be 4, and then minus, so this will definitely be 4 minus 2, and then we know now that this will equal a 2. So correct and then correct. So then we are going to our y2, which is equals to 2. We substitute x, which is negative 1, and then we have our negative 2, and then this will definitely be negative times 2 will definitely be negative 2. Negative 2, it means that we are going to get a negative 4. So now we know that our y2 is negative 4, y1 is 2, x1 is 2, and then x2 is negative 1. So we are done with the first equation. As you can see that we got the values. So I'm going to erase the entire board for our second solution, and I hope that you do understand how I got the answer, and you'll be able to work with it should you get it anywhere in your examination. Sorry for that. And then now I'll definitely continue with our second solution, right? So now we are done with the first question for solving for x and y, and we got all the values as expected. So now we are going to erase the entire board so that we can start with our second question down here. So the first thing that I will do is to ensure that we have maybe a calculator if we're gonna need it, but I don't think that we're gonna need a calculator. So just in case, if we do need a calculator, we should be able to calculate everything in real time. So now, without squandering our time, we just have to jump into solving the given question. So we have our equation 1, which is x to the plus of 2, which is equals to 2, right? And then remember that we are supposed to ensure that one of our equation has maybe a variable that is equals to something like y equals to an equation, or x equals to something. So I'm going to make sure that x is equals to maybe 2 minus 2y. So I decided to take 2 to the other side. Is it a plus or is it a minus? Let me go back. So we have a 2 here, meaning that this will definitely be a minus, you see. So we have x, which is equals to this. So this can be our equation 1, right? And then the other one is x squared, the plus of 8y, which is equals to 8, right? So with this, it means that we can be able to substitute in equation 1 into 2. So that means that we are going to say that x squared, not just x squared, sorry, we are going to substitute this, which is 2 minus minus 2y squared, the plus of 8 y, which is maybe equals to 0 if we take this to the other side. And then this will definitely be something like this. Just expand it so that you can be able to multiply everything accordingly. Equals to 0. And then I just want to erase everything up here, more especially here, so that we can reuse some of the equations, right? So I just want to remove, erase our board so that we can be able to reuse it for our answers. So 2 times 2 will give us 4. 2 and negative 2y will give us negative 4y, and then negative 2, and then that will give us negative 4y, and then this and this will give us a positive 4y squared, and then this will be the plus of 8y minus 8 equals to 0. So the thing is that we have to check if we can deduct something, on the equation. So this can be added together, and then that will give us negative 8y, and then we have our we have our 8y here as this should show. So it means that 8y, this one here, the plus of, so if you check, this one here gave us negative 8y, and we have our positive 8y here, meaning that we have positive 8y and then minus 8, and then we have 4y squared. Sorry for the confusion. So 4y squared minus 8 plus 8y, negative 8, then the plus of 4 is equals to 0 there. And then we are going to erase the following. 1 and 2 should get erased. And then we are going to, not this one, sorry for that. I think I meant this one. And then this one will give us a negative 4. Negative 8 plus 4 will give us the following, negative 4, which is equals to 0. Remember about dividing everything. So now you can actually divide the entire equation with 4, and then you are going to get a 1 here and then a 1 here. So this will result to y squared minus 1, which is equals to 0. Right? Meaning that you can be able to finalize your y1 and y2. So with that, I'm going to erase everything down here just for our board to look clean. And then I will definitely say that y squared is equals to 1. So if you check here, you will see that you have sorry, you have your 1, which is equal, your y squared, which is equals to 1. So this can actually be this can be what, 1 plus or minus 1. So y is equals to 1, and also y is equals to negative 1, because in order for us to kill this, we can use a square root, and then this will kill this, and then the square root here will definitely give us a 1. But if you don't understand that way and you want to factorize this, you can be able to factorize it. How? This is how you can be able to factorize it. So you can say that you have a y and then another y, which is equals to 0. Something that can give us something that can actually give us so remember, this is y squared plus 0 minus 1, 0x minus 1 equal to 0, meaning that something that can actually give us a 0 when we add it, but when we multiply it will be negative 1. That will be negative 1 and then the positive 1. So multiply them, we are getting, when you multiply this out, you are getting this as an equation. So that's what I'm trying to refer to. So now it means that you'll be able to do what? You'll be able to get your y, which is equals to 1, and then y2, which is equals to negative 1. So this means that you can go back to the equation here and substitute 1 and negative 1 in order for you to get x1 and x2. So I'm going to erase again the board so that you can be able to see your final answers before we end the video. So now I can jump into it and say that x is equals to, more especially x1, is equals to 2 minus 2, and then we have a 1 here. Then this means that this is equals to 0. This should equal 0. Okay, and then let's go and substitute the other one. Let's go and substitute the other one. So this means that x2 is equals to 2 minus, and then y will be negative 1, and then remember the 2 into -1, and then this will kill this. Sorry, yeah, this will kill this, and then it means that we are going to get 2 the plus of 2, which is equal to 4. Let me repeat that part there because people are confused. So x2 is equals to 2 minus 2, and then y will be -1, meaning that -2 times -1, and then that will mean that -2 times -1 will be positive, and then 2 plus 2 will be 4. That's what I'm trying to imply. Okay, so it means that y1 is 1, and then y2 is -1, and then x1 is 0, then x2 is 4. So that's it from my side. I hope that you do understand the video. This time around I decided to substitute x into equation 2. I can actually do it vice versa. Maybe I will do that in our next video. Thank you.